They said the dead can't text you, but I kept getting her messages. This is the story of Messages from Beyond. It started 3 days after the funeral. Derek was sitting on his bed, staring at the wall. His girlfriend Emma had died in a car accident. Sudden, brutal. They were supposed to move in together next month. His phone buzzed. Emma.
Hey, you there?
Derek stared at the screen. He checked the number. It was hers. Same number, same photo, same text thread where they used to send each other dumb memes. He thought maybe it was her sister. Maybe she got Emma's phone. Weird, but not impossible. Derek. Who is this? No reply. An hour later.
Hey.
Emma.
Miss you.
He called the number. It rang once, then clicked off. He didn't sleep that night. The next morning, just as the sun started to rise, another text lit up the screen. Emma.
I'm cold.
He blocked the number, reported it, deleted the thread, tried to move on. But that evening, when he came back from work, the phone was on again, fully charged, with the message still there. That night he dreamt of her, standing at the foot of his bed, crying, reaching for him. When he woke up, there were wet footprints on the carpet. 2 days passed. Then he got a message on Instagram, a new account, no posts, no followers, profile picture, the same one Emma used. The message came from a new Instagram account, no posts, no followers, just a name, M. Wanders. It said,
Don't ignore me.
He tried to report it, clicked the 3 dots, chose report, but the account vanished before he could finish. That night, long after midnight, someone knocked on his window. 2nd floor. No balcony. The next day, he got an email. Subject line, "You promised." No sender, no return address. Just a photo of them together, one he didn't remember taking. In the background, Emma was blurry, but her face looked wrong, mouth open too wide, eyes all black, like holes punched through her. The texts kept coming. Different numbers, random accounts. Same voice, same words Emma used when they'd fight. Same emojis, same typos. Unknown.
Please don't forget me.
He started to wonder if he was losing it. He stopped leaving the house, covered the mirrors, took down photos. He even unplugged the Wi-Fi, but the messages still came, through apps that weren't installed. Emma.
I didn't want to die.
He switched phones, changed numbers, moved to a different apartment. For a week, silence. Then he got a voicemail. It was static and breathing, and under it, her voice, crying, begging. Emma.
I'm not gone.
Her voice was distorted, like it came from underwater. The next day, his new phone buzzed. Emma.
Hey, you there?
Same number, same thread, like it never stopped. Derek stared at the screen. The message was marked as typing, and this time, it wasn't him. What do you think happened to Derek? Let us know in the comments below.
It started with a hole. Ted wasn't an adventurer. Not really. He worked in IT, lived alone, had a bad knee from high school wrestling. But every few weekends, he and his friend Brad would crawl into the earth like bugs, exploring caves most people didn't even know existed. They weren't professionals, just two guys with helmets, ropes, and a mutual addiction to the unknown. The cave they found that day didn't even look like a cave. It was just a slit, a narrow crack in a sandstone cliff at the edge of town, barely wide enough to fit a backpack through. But when Ted leaned in with a flashlight, he saw a space beyond it. A chamber. Looks tight. You're gonna get stuck, and I'm not dragging your ass out. But Ted was already obsessed. That week, he couldn't sleep. He kept thinking about what was behind the slit. He convinced Brad to come back with tools. They spent hours scraping rock, chiseling edges. Dust filled their lungs. Their fingers bled. But after 3 full weekends of digging, they broke through. The chamber was small, maybe 8 feet across, silent, perfectly round, like it had been shaped not by water, not by time, by something else. There were markings on the walls, not graffiti, not tool marks, symbols carved deep into the stone. Spirals, crosses, eye-like shapes. Brad made a joke about cults. Ted didn't laugh. He took photos, started writing a blog, just for fun. Ted the Caver. That night, Ted dreamed he was back in the chamber, but the entrance was gone, sealed, and something was breathing in the dark. He woke up drenched in sweat. The blog got a few readers. Fellow cavers chimed in, offered theories. Some of them said to stay away, that the symbols looked Sumerian, or worse. Others wanted more. So they went back, pushed deeper. Behind the first chamber was a crawl tunnel, no wider than a coffin. It went on for 50 feet. They wormed through it slowly, inch by inch. The air got colder. Their headlamps dimmed for no reason. Brad said he heard something moving behind them. Ted told him to shut up. When they reached the end of the crawl, it opened into another chamber. This one wasn't empty. There were bones, small ones, clean, arranged in patterns, concentric circles, and in the center, a single tooth, human. They left, didn't talk much on the drive home. That night, someone slashed their tent, even though they were back in town. Ted found a smear of red clay across his apartment floor the next morning, but he lived alone. No one had a key. He stopped updating the blog. Brad refused to return his calls. But last night, a new post appeared. Not from Ted, just a photo of the slit in the rock. But this time, it was wider.
They say nothing in life is free. And for her, that turned out to be true. She came to the city with nothing but a scholarship, a suitcase, and a dream. No family, no safety net, just sleepless nights in a shared apartment that reeked of burnt noodles and bleach. Bills piled up, rent kept climbing. Her campus job barely covered textbooks. That's when she met George. He was older, polished, the kind of man who wore cufflinks and spoke like he'd never been in a hurry. He listened more than he talked. Their first meeting? Dinner. Quiet rooftop. He handed her an envelope with $1,000. No pressure, no expectations. Just dinner. The second time, it was $3,000. A suite in a luxury hotel. Wine, city lights, conversation. Still, no touching, no demands. Just one rule. Never open the black door. She laughed, thought he was joking, but he didn't smile. That part of the house is mine, he said. Use anything else, but not the door. The door was strange, flat black, no handle, just a keycard slot beside a pulsing red light, and something else. Every time she walked past it, she felt watched. Within 2 weeks, she had full access to the penthouse. He said she brought peace to the place, still paid her, still wired money without asking, never rude, never controlling. Except for that one rule, don't open it. She didn't, at first. But the longer she stayed, the more the apartment changed. The silence felt heavier, the shadows too sharp, and at night, she could swear she heard someone whisper her name from the other side of that door. The days passed quietly. At first, George started disappearing for days. Sometimes he'd text, "Hope you're comfortable. And remember, don't touch the door." The apartment was still, silent. But that silence turned heavy. One night the lights flickered. Another night the thermostat reset. Drawers shifted. Doors creaked open. And then, the smell. Faint, then metallic, sharp, like blood. She asked George. He paused too long. Plumbing issue, he said. No one ever came. One night she found an envelope under the door. No return address, just her name. Inside, one line. You are not the first. Heart racing, she searched the apartment. In a shoebox beneath the bed, a photo. A younger woman, smiling, wearing the same necklace George had given her. The caption read, Catherine, 2021. She confronted him. He smiled. An old friend. She moved away. But his eyes didn't smile. That night, the red light blinked faster. Behind the door, something scratched. Then silence. 2 days, no calls and no money. No George. Then, the light turned green. She stared, then slowly slid the keycard into the slot. The lock clicked. Inside, cold. Black walls, shelves lined with photo frames, maybe hundreds. All women, young, and smiling. George stood beside many of them. In the center, a table. One frame, one photo. Her. Same dress. Same expression. Slightly off. Her name and today's date. She turned to run, but the door was gone. A voice behind her. You broke the rule. Something wrapped around her wrist. Cold, wet. She screamed, but no sound came. We can only guess what happened to her next. Would your curiosity outweigh your fear? Would you open the black door? Tell us in the comments. And if you want more stories like this, subscribe. The first message appeared on his bathroom mirror. It was just one word: run. He blamed the steam. Maybe he'd written it himself and forgotten. People did weird things half asleep. But that night, he slept with the bathroom door shut tight. His name was Kyle, 29, freelance UI designer. Lived alone, no pets, quiet life mostly. The kind where days blend together, and the only real excitement is forgetting your headphones before a coffee run. So when he saw that first message, he laughed it off. Kinda. Took a picture of the mirror, sent it to a friend with the caption, "Either I'm sleep writing horror movie cliches, or I've got a ghost with a flair for drama." 3 days passed. Next message showed up on his laptop screen. Not in an app, not a pop-up, just bold white text over black. Run. No input, no mouse movement. He hadn't even touched the thing yet. He yanked the power cord, held the button down until it died. The laughter stopped after that. At first, he convinced himself it was malware, some glitch, maybe his friend was pulling a prank. But the handwriting changed. Sometimes typed, sometimes scrawled like a child. Once, letters were shaped with smeared ketchup on his kitchen counter. Always the same word: run. Post-it notes stuck under his windshield wiper. Gas station receipt, with it scribbled in the corner. One morning, he found it etched faintly into his toast. He started drinking more coffee, slept with lights on, switched apartments, bought a burner phone and disconnected everything else. Didn't matter. One night, he opened his fridge. The word was burned into the frost of a frozen pizza box. Another time, it hovered inside a Word document he never opened. Just one word, blinking, waiting. He showed a therapist. She said it was stress, overwork, repressed anxiety. He wanted to believe her. But then it changed. Instead of run, the mirror in his new place read, "Why aren't you listening?" That night, he shattered the mirror with his fist. 7 stitches. An urgent care visit. A referral he never followed up on. He rented a motel room in a different city. Took nothing but his wallet. Left his phone in the trash. When he woke up, a napkin sat on the nightstand. Too late. He checked out before the sun came up. Didn't call anyone. Just drove. 6 hours west. Slept in the car, then 4 more. No music, no calls. Just the hum of the highway and an ache behind his eyes. At a gas station in some place with no name, he found a folded receipt taped to the pump. Just one word, written in what looked like ash. Run. He sat in the car for 20 minutes, just breathing, watching the shadows crawl across the parking lot. He didn't know what he was running from or toward, but he couldn't stop now. At a rest stop in the middle of nowhere, he parked and locked the doors. Silence. He stared at the dashboard. The digital clock blinked. 2:17 a.m. 3 beeps from the car's system, and then the screen lit up. One final message. Running doesn't help. What do you think? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe. They told her the building had character. High ceilings, crown molding, a clawfoot tub straight out of a 1920s catalog. It wasn't perfect, but for the price and location, it felt like a steal. She moved in on a rainy Thursday. Just her, 2 suitcases, and a borrowed futon. The upstairs unit was supposedly vacant, under renovation, according to the landlord. But every night, around 2:17 a.m., she heard them. Slow, measured, like someone pacing above her ceiling. It always started the same. 3 creaks, a pause, then a dragging sound, like something heavy scraping across old floorboards. The building was old. Pipes moaned, wood shifted. But this felt deliberate, too human. She tried to ignore it the first few nights, told herself it was just the settling of the house. But it never changed, always at 217, always the same pattern, always above her bedroom. On the 4th night, she knocked on the ceiling with a broom. Silence. Then, 3 knocks back. Not creaks, not shifting boards. Knocks. She didn't sleep that night. In the morning, she went to the landlord. Asked again if someone had moved in upstairs.
No,
He said, looking annoyed.
that place has been locked up, still waiting for the maintenance crew.
But I hear footsteps every night. And something else.
He rolled his eyes.
It's an old building. Sound travels.
She didn't argue. But that night, she placed her phone on the nightstand, hit record, and waited. 2:16 a.m. Nothing. 2:17 a.m. 3 creaks, a pause. The dragging sound. She held her breath. The recording kept going. Then something new. A faint thump. Another. And then a whisper. Soft. Muffled.
Let me down.
She bolted upright, eyes wide. The room was still. The next morning, she played back the recording. There it was. Creaks, drag, thumps, and that voice.
Let me down.
She brought the audio to the landlord. He didn't even listen to the whole thing, just waved her off. You want out of your lease? You can break it. Just give 30 days. She didn't want out. She wanted answers. That night, she stayed up, 2 a.m. She sat in bed, phone in hand, flashlight ready. No lights on, no sound, just silence. 2:17 a.m. 3 creaks. She crept to the hallway, stared at the ceiling. The dragging began. Then a sudden bang, directly above her. Her breath caught. The bang echoed through the walls. Then, a sob, muffled, long. She ran, out the door into the street, didn't stop until she was 2 blocks away. She called the landlord, left a message, screaming into the phone. No reply. She didn't go back that night. The next day she returned, midday, brought a friend, made them go upstairs with her. The door was locked. The landlord never gave them the key. But her friend was a locksmith. Click. The door opened. Dust, silence, an empty room. Except, in the center of the living room, directly above her bedroom, a heavy rusted meat hook hung from the ceiling, and below it, deep grooves carved into the floorboards, as if something had been dragged, again and again. No furniture, no footprints, but on the wall, a smear, a handprint, too small to be an adult's, too low to be standing. She moved out that day, didn't take anything with her, didn't sleep for 3 days. The landlord never called back, and every once in a while when she's up late, she opens her voice recorder, scrolls to that file, and hits play. Creak, 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 drag.
Let me down.
What do you think? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe. It started as a simple game night. Ethan had been meaning to have people over for weeks. He'd moved into the new apartment 2 months earlier, and the place still smelled faintly of fresh paint and cardboard boxes. The view from the 12th floor was perfect for sunsets, and the balcony had just enough room for a chair and a potted plant he kept forgetting to water. So he texted 5 friends, told them to bring snacks and promised to order pizza. 5 friends, exactly 5. They started trickling in around 7. Laughter in the hallway. The familiar sound of the elevator clunking open. Shoes kicked off by the door. The smell of takeout filling the kitchen. Ethan opened a bottle of wine, tossed a playlist on the speaker, and let the warmth of familiar voices fill the place. By 8, everyone was there. Almost everyone. Because when Ethan counted heads around the table, there were 6 guests. At first, he thought nothing of it. Friends brought friends all the time. But when he tried to match the unfamiliar face to a name, his brain stalled. She was sitting between Mark and Jenna. Long black hair, pale skin, a soft smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. She was playing along, laughing when others did. Sipping from a glass of wine Ethan knew he hadn't poured. No one introduced her. No one asked who she was. The night went on. Cards slapped on the table, music from someone's phone, jokes about old college stories. Every so often, Ethan glanced toward her. Each time, without fail, she was already watching him. At one point, he got up to grab another round of drinks. In the kitchen, he pulled Mark aside.
Hey, who's the girl sitting next to you?
Mark frowned.
What girl?
The one with the black hair, pale, smiling a lot?
Mark stared at him for a long second, then laughed like it was a joke.
Man, you've had too much. There's no one like that here.
Ethan forced a laugh and let it go. But when he returned to the table, she was still there. Only now she was sitting in his chair. Her hands were folded neatly in her lap, her smile wider than before. The game ended around midnight. One by one, people said their goodbyes. Jackets were grabbed, shoes pulled on, hugs exchanged. The apartment quieted. Ethan stood by the door counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only 5 left. No trace of the woman. After everyone was gone, he locked the door, checked the windows, went room to room. Nothing. Just the faint scent of her perfume lingering in the air. Something cold and metallic beneath it. He convinced himself it was stress, maybe a trick of the light, too much wine. He went to bed. At 2:17 a.m., he woke to the sound of laughter in the living room. Not the laughter from earlier. This was low, wet, drawn out, like someone struggling to breathe between each sound. He got up, walked slowly down the hall. Each step felt heavier, the air thicker. The lights in the living room were off. But in the corner, by the window, someone was standing. Long black hair, pale skin, that same smile. She tilted her head.
You shouldn't have let me in.
Ethan's mouth went dry.
Who are you?
Her smile twitched.
You know.
Before he could move, the room went dark. And in the blackness, she whispered.
Now there's one too many in here.
The whisper came from right behind his ear. What do you think? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe. Matt had never realized how little he truly knew about her past. They had been together for 3 years, married for 1. She was warm, clever, always present in their life together. But any time the subject drifted toward her childhood or family, she would either smile faintly or change the subject entirely. It was late on a rainy Thursday. She was downstairs, the sound of running water humming faintly through the floor. Matt sat at his desk, lazily scrolling through search results on his laptop. He often Googled random things, his own name, old friends, half-remembered news stories. Tonight, without thinking too much about it, he typed her full name into the search bar. The results loaded. The very first link was an obituary. He froze, staring at the thumbnail. The photo was unmistakable. Her eyes, her smile, her name printed in bold above it. The date of death? 10 years ago. He clicked the link. The obituary was simple, almost old-fashioned. It described a woman survived by loving parents and a sister who had passed unexpectedly in her mid-20s. No cause of death. The words were polite, distant, the kind people write when the truth is too hard to say. Matt's mouth was dry. Coincidence, he told himself. Someone with the same name, someone who looked like her. But the more he stared, the harder it became to believe that. He shut the laptop. For a moment, he just sat there, trying to push the thought away, but the unease gnawed at him, quiet and steady. Finally, he stood, climbed the creaking stairs to their bedroom, and sat on the edge of the bed. The rain against the window was louder up here, filling the silence. He opened the laptop again. The obituary glowed on the screen. Every detail in the photo, the way her hair fell over one shoulder, the faint curve of her smile, was identical. He began searching again, adding new keywords: funeral, accident, cause of death. Old news articles surfaced, buried deep in forgotten corners of the internet. Each one was short, clinical. Local woman dies in mysterious incident. He found a photograph from a memorial service. The casket was closed. Her parents, at least the people named as such, stood beside it. Their faces were tight with grief. Matt's hand shook slightly as he reached for her passport from the nightstand drawer. Same birth date, same spelling, no differences. A floorboard creaked somewhere down the hall. Matt's pulse quickened. He closed the browser and set the laptop aside. The bedroom door opened. She stepped inside, hair damp, wearing a loose sweater. Her eyes found his instantly, holding them for just a second too long.
You're quiet,
She said.
Just tired.
Matt replied, his voice thinner than he expected. She studied him in silence, then smiled faintly.
I told you there are parts of my past you might not like.
His mouth felt dry.
What do you mean?
She tilted her head slightly, as though amused.
You found something, didn't you?
Matt's gaze dropped to the thin, pale scar at the base of her neck, a scar he had never noticed before. Before he could ask, a faint whisper slid through the room from just behind her. Too soft to make out the words, she didn't turn around. Matt's skin prickled. His mind screamed to move, to speak, but his body stayed frozen. She took a slow step closer.
Still think you know me?
She asked. What do you think? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe.